Hey guys, how are you? Today I want to talk about why you should buy one of these 88 to 98 Chevy / GMC trucks. These are known as a GMT400 platform. This came in many different options like the Silverado, the Yukon, the Tahoe. This is my favorite variant of it though, and this is the Suburban. Now when I went Suburban shopping, this wasn't the exact version I wanted, but it's pretty dang close. And the only reason why is it's a two-wheel drive instead of a four-wheel drive, but there's pros and cons to both. Now let's talk about the reasons why you should buy one of these. Number one is going to be reliability. We'll talk about each one of these reasons in depth here. Number two is going to be like luxury or like comfortability, and number three is going to be looks for me. This is my subjective list on why you should buy this. Reliability, let's start with the engine bay, right? Let's pop this thing. And boom. Reliability, right? This is pre-LS, right before LS, before all the LY6s and LM7s and LQ9s and LQ4s and LS3s and LS1s and all that stuff came out. This was what was happening. And when I say happening, I mean, this was like the radical stuff, dude. But anyways, these motors are known to go so many miles. 500,000 miles doesn't seem crazy. If you take care of this, 500,000 miles would be almost probably standard. Like if you really took care of it and really changed your air filter when you needed to, change your oil when you needed to, change your spark plugs at the right intervals. If you're just a person that takes care of their cars, you can get a lot of life out of these things. The other thing is everything on here is pretty simple to work on. Like granted, it's not a carbureted 350 from the 70s, but it's pretty dang simple. Now on these with the Vortec, this has the Vortec. So the years on this, I believe, were like 95 to 99 were the Vortec motors here, and they had the upgraded interior as well. I don't believe if those years coincided or not, but some of the interiors will look older and boxier. This is the newer interior style, but the Vortec motor was the much more powerful of the motors. I don't know the exact specs on it, but this is no slouch. It goes. And it's just essentially a 350, but it has Vortec heads on it, and the intake is different. The Vortec heads, which are, I believe, designated by like the 096 or whatever the three numerals are what people want to get when they're looking for like small block Chevy heads. They want to get the Vortec heads. These are the Vortec heads. They flow really good, and they make a lot of power. A lot is also relative. A new Corolla would probably smoke this thing. As far as like working on things, this is like some little homemade remedy I did just for like a temporary fix. Like these connectors sometimes crack. These old brittle plastic connectors will crack. This one is the throttle position sensor, and it cracked, and so I replaced it, and I just posi tapped them in temporarily. You can see the little posi taps there, or posi locks, and it works. The air filter is just a few clips and you can put a new air filter in. The headlights are so easy to change. You just take this out and you take this out and they slip out. Headlight slips out, put it in, boom, boom, put those back in, and you got a new headlight in. I mean, everything on here is pretty dang simple to work on. So as far as like a first car or somebody that just wants a good, reliable car that they don't have to do a lot of maintenance to, and when they have to do maintenance, it's not a big deal, this is it. Granted, you got to keep up on your oil changes. You got to take care of the motor. It's the old saying where you take care of the motor and it takes care of you. This is a prime example of that. Now, this motor has like 140 or 150,000 miles on it. I'll check the odometer here in a second. Runs great. Anyways, enough about reliability. Let's talk about luxury and comfort, etc., etc., etc. Now, these trucks are old, right? Mine's a 99, and let's see, mine's got 154,000 miles. Now, let's talk about something here. These are the original seats in the truck, right? You fold this armrest down right here, and you hit the highway, and you're going to have an uncomparable ride. Nothing will ever match the comfort of this, bar none. I've never experienced anything more comfortable than these trucks. The Escalade, my Escalade is the generation after. It's an Escalade, and it's like leather seats, but it's the same leather seat with the armrest. Same thing. It's a reason for that. They're so comfortable. You're hitting the highway, you got your seat kind of tilted back, you hit that armrest down, you throw your arm up there, and I'll tell you what, you're in heaven. You got plenty of leg room, and then you got the back seats, or the middle seats as you would call them. These are not captain seats. Now, some of the models will have another replication of these two seats right here, right? So you can just slip back to the third row, but this one is the bench seat. And so to get back in the third row on this one, you got to press this easy entry button and you flip it forward and it just goes and you get right back to the third row. Now this is definitely a family car. Great for like road trips, great for just hauling around town. You need to go to soccer practice, you need to go to whatever it may be. You can haul 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 people in this thing comfortably. maybe 9 if you put somebody behind the third seat and just let them sit there. And I'm telling you, you're just not going to find anything more comfortable than this. This is the standard by which all cars, in my opinion, are measured as far as comfort. This is so comfortable. This Mercedes is not as comfortable. This Lexus is not as comfortable. That Toyota pickup is definitely not as comfortable. The only comparison is the Escalade, and that's because it's the same platform with the same seats, but they're in leather. And I would prefer the fabric over the leather. Leather is okay, but on a hot summer day, you're gonna wish you had fabric like this. And look at this. The bolster's not ripped. I mean, this seat is 25 years old and still in great condition with 150,000 miles driven on this thing. I mean, how, I don't know. You can fit a ton of stuff in these things. It's just as long as the Escalade back there. Now mine has the barn style doors, or whatever you'd call them, where they split open like this. And then there's a handle down here, and that opens that. And that's how mine open. Some of these have a different opening mechanism where it's like a horizontal thing. It's a little different. These are the barn doors. This is what I wanted. There is a full-size spare here, but I took it out because it's sitting on the front of that C10 over there that I just got. So that's a full-size spare, and this is the spare that came in it. It's a Michelin radial. Look at that. Now again, this thing is a mess back here, right? It's disgusting. I mean, not really disgusting, but I can take the carpet cleaner in here and get it all cleaned out. But again, I don't buy cars and trucks perfect. I try to get something where I can fix it and have something to do all day and like make videos and help you guys out too. So I'll come in here one day with the carpet cleaner and get this all cleaned out, and it'll look really cool. But for now, that's fine. I don't really use the back of this for much. You can tell from this pile of stuff, I was doing speaker installs, and I'll be getting some videos out about that here coming shortly. Now, enough with luxury. I've already convinced you hands down that this is the most luxurious vehicle in the world, right? Hit the thumbs up button. Let's talk about looks. What looks better than that? A lot of things probably look better than that, but from 1999, okay, name an SUV that looks better than that. There's not a lot of them. These things look great, and it's gonna look even better when I get the Bob Seger wheels on here. I call these Bob Seger trucks just because, you know, rocks on the road. Like a rock comes on in my head whenever I see one, and I always associate it with the offset 5-blade wheels that come on these things for the 4-wheel drive ones. As far as color, white is my favorite, right? I think white is the best contrast because these rear windows came tinted. I think on most of them, you'd have to check your RPO codes, but I think most of them came with the rear window tint. And then a lot of people will tint their front windows, which I'm gonna do. Not as dark as those, but I'm gonna tint it to kind of match them. It's a great look, dude. And you get it up on some slightly bigger tires, and which I'm gonna do. I'm putting some really cool BF Goodrichs on there. They're the max size you can do. I'll do a whole video on the tires. It really transforms the look of these things. There's something really, really awesome about the clean, square lines of these trucks. Like you just got the it looks freaking awesome. It's so simple, so cool. It doesn't, now you're not going to get a bunch of aerodynamic gas mileage out of this thing. That's just, get that thought right out of your head. But you're going to look good going down the road. I love stuff like this. This is kind of my goal in life is to have like 10 different cars that are done and built that I can like drive around every day of the week. None of them, like the newest one I have is 2004. That's a 2004 as well. But I have my 02 Trans Am, my 92 Camaro, my 04 Escalade, my 86 Mercedes, my 2004 Lexus, my Toyota pickup from 87. I have all these cars that I can drive around, and instead of just being stuck with one car, I have all these cool like older cars that are generally pretty dang reliable, and that's what I get to drive around every day. So I have kind of amassed this fleet of cars that I want, that I like, and that are, in my opinion, really great cars that you should be looking at if you're wanting to buy something. So if you're in the market and you got maybe $5,000 to spend and you want a nice old reliable car that's kind of cool, and you can like plop your buddies in the back and go to the lake, or go on a road trip to who knows where, think about one of these. Anyways, guys, that's the video. This is a car that I'm going to be doing some more videos on, so if you're into these old trucks like this, definitely hit the subscribe button. And if any of the cars you saw in the video are cars you like, I probably have some videos on how to do stuff on them, so it might help you out. You can go check them out. You can subscribe to the channel if you want. You can leave a thumbs up button if you like the video, and thanks again for watching, guys. Have a great day. Bye.